NS2. Okay, sit down. Good. Roger, can you say what may be the general configuration of third A group? The elements means boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, titanium. These all elements. What is the general configuration?
NS2, NP2.
NS2, NP1. Okay, NS2,
NP1.
NP1. Good. Next, when we are coming into fourth echelon, fourth A group, what is the general configuration?
NS2, NS2, NP2.
Very good. NS2, NP2. So see, this it is also following a regular pattern of its electronic configuration, right? NS2, NP2. So you can see what is fifth A group, Akshara. What is fifth A group general configuration?
NS2, NP2.
NS2, NP3. And sixth A group?
NS2, NP4.
NS2, NP4. And coming to halogen, it will be NS2, NP5. And finally, inert gases. We call it as inert gases. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. We call it as inert gases because they are highly stable. They don't want to participate in chemical reaction with other elements because its octet is complete. So it will be having the configuration NS2, NP6. So this pattern it is following. So you have understood. Starting the differentiating electron is entering into NS1. Differentiating electron is entering into NS1 and ending with the NS2, NP6. In all the groups it will be following like this. So in all the periods it will be following like this. Means first NS1, next NS2 and so on. Okay, then finally ending with the NS2, NP6. Every period start with the differentiating electron ending into differentiating electron means what? The last electron of the valence shell. Okay, now differentiating electron entering into NS1 and last coming to inert gases, it will be NS2, NP6. I think that you got it. Okay, now. So, that also in modern periodic table, that trend is also following. That only we are saying that the physical and the chemical properties are the periodic function of the electronic configuration. And also you can see something wonderful here. When we are talking about the number of elements, okay, number of elements in each period. Okay, you can see here number of elements in the first period. How many elements are in the first period? Only 2 elements are there, hydrogen and helium. In the second period, how many elements are there? 8 elements are there. Third period also having 8 elements. Okay, 4th, 5th, 6th period. So 6th period is different because lanthanides, 14 elements are included. 4th and 5th period, how many elements are there? 18 elements. How many elements are there in 4th and 5th period?
18.
And what about the 6th and 7th period?
30.
Okay, let us discuss how this is also following. Why particularly 2 elements in the first period? Why the periodic table is formed in that way? 8 elements in second and third period. That may be also in some following some trends. Let us see that. See here, hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and helium having only one shell, only one main shell. Okay. So which shell is that? K shell. What is the maximum number of elements can accommodate in K shell? 2 electrons. So it will be going to 1s1 and 1s2. So first shell, it is having only one orbital. First shell is having only one orbital or one subshell, that means S. S maximum capacity is 2. one, in the first period, since it is these two elements are having only one period, having only one principal quantum number, that is shell, only K shell. It is arranged in such a way that only two elements coming in the first period. But coming to coming to second period, you know that second period means the second main shell, right? Second main shell means which shell? L shell. It is having, L shell will be having 2s2, 2p6 maximum. 2s2, 2p6. Right? So 2s2, 2p6. So maximum number of electrons? 8 electrons can occur. So from lithium to, when we are talking from lithium to neon, okay, the electron will be entering from 2s1, next one 2s2, next 2s2 to p1, 2s2 to p2, and a differentiating electron I am seeing. 1s2 is common for all, right? So how many electrons can occupy in the second shell? 8 electrons. So 8 elements. 8 electrons. So how many elements? 8 elements. Right. So 1s over 2s over 2p over. Next, coming to third period. Coming to third period. Actually we know third period is having 3s, 3p, 3d. Right. Third shell is having the orbitals s, p, d. So s, how many electrons it can occupy? 2. P, 6. And d, how many electrons are there? Sorry, how many are coming? 8. Then why in third period? Okay, just focus here. In third period, why it is not 18 elements? Instead it is having 6. Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. How many elements are there? How many elements are there? Only 8 elements. What is the secret? Here, okay, second orbit, second period, having K shell and L shell. Second period means having, L, S and P. S maximum 2 electron, P maximum 6 electron. So differentiating electron entering from 2s1, next one goes to 2s2, next one to 2p1, 2p2, 2p3, 2p4, 2p5, 2p6 level. So 8 electrons over. Then why coming to 3s orbit? 3. Third period. Third period means the third main shell. Third main shell. Which orbitals are there? S, P, D. S, P, D. So S, P, D means it should be entering in the S orbit 2 electron. Next P, 6 electron. Next D, 10 electron. So 18 elements should be there, no? Why 18 elements are not there? Why only 8 electrons are there? 8 elements are there. Okay, that let me tell you. See here. When you learned about the ascending order of the energy levels, we learned that first electrons will enter into 1s orbit. 1s after, it will go to 2s. 2s completed. It will go to 2p. 2p after it will enter into 3s. 3s after it will enter into 3p. 3p after it will enter into 4s. Okay now? 3s after the electrons enter into 3s after 3p. 3p after not going to 3d. It is going to 4s. So fourth main shell. Fourth main shell means it should come in the fourth period. So according to the main shell, which main shell the electrons are entering, according to that it is arranged. So after entering to 3s, electrons should enter into 3p. 3p after not 3d, but it is coming 4s. So 4s elements, the differentiating electron is entering into 4s, then it will be arranged in fourth period only. Understand? Then it will be arranged in fourth period, not in third period. And according to the last electron, where it is entering, there only, that name only it will get. For let me show you the electronic configuration of potassium. Potassium. What is 1s2? Tell me. You can see 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1. Right, 4s1. Where the last electron is entering? 4s. Last electron is entering to 4s. So 4s, that is why K is in fourth period. K is in fourth period. That is not in third period. So third period means only S and P is coming. Only S and P. So S, how many electrons? 2. And 2 configurations are possible. Which configuration? 3s1. Next, 3s2 configuration possible. Next, 3s2 is not visible here. I think, let me write. Okay, see here the possibilities with this one. 3s1, one possibility is there. So 3s1 configuration with this one, there will be one element. Next, with 3s2, one element will be there. That will be coming into second group. Understand? Next, what will be there? 3s2, 3p1. Because only S and P possible. Because 3p after 3, 3s2, 3p2. So an element whose last electron, differentiating electron, is entering into 3p2. Okay now, and 3p2 not 3p means 2 second electron. So next one 3s2, 3p3. Next one 3s2, 3p4, 3s2, 3p5, and 3s2, 3p6. So you tell me how many elements can come in the third period? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is why there are only 8 elements in the third period. Actually, you may be thinking that, oh, third shell. Third period electrons are entering into third shell. So immediately calculation, you will calculate third shell, third main shell is having S orbital, P orbital and D orbital. S can 2, P can occupy 6, D can occupy 10 electrons. So you will calculate 10 plus 6 plus 2, 18 elements. But that is not possible. Because electron will enter according to the increase in energy levels that you will get from this Molar diagram. Okay, for 3p after, electron will enter into 4s, not to 3d. So 3p after 4s we should not consider, because 4s means another new shell is coming up. Right. So let us talk about fourth period. Can you guess how many elements will come in the fourth period and how it will come? Let us discuss it. So see, 4s after where the electron will enter? 3d. 4s, 3d. Yes, 3d after it will enter into
4.
4p. Right, 4p. Next 4p after the electron will enter into 5s. So whether 5s will write with this one with the fourth period? No, we won't write with the fourth period. So see, yes, how many electron, how many possibilities are there? 4s1 and 4s2. Like that, D, how many possibilities are there? 10 possibilities. P, 6. So how many elements possible?
18.
18 elements. 2 plus 10 plus 6. How many elements can come in the fourth period?
18 elements.
18 elements. So like that we can discuss the next periods also. Suppose if we take fifth period, can you say fifth period? So 4p after elements will, so electron will enter into which orbital?
5s.
So we have to start with 5s. 5s after where it will go?
4d.
5s after electron will enter into
4d.
4d. 4d after it will enter into
5d.
5p. 5p after it will enter into 6s. Can we take 6s along with this 5? No, because 6 means next electron which is entering into 6th shell should go to the 6th period. That is the planning. Understood? So how many elements can occupy total?
18.
This one 18, this one is also same only coming now. 2 plus 10 plus 6. How many elements?
18.
18 elements. So all the elements, first group elements, starting with NS1 configuration, and last group inert gases ending with NS2 NP6 configuration. NP6 configuration. All the first group elements starting with and ending with NS2 and NP6. So you got the general configuration and how many elements are possible in each periods. Okay now. Next in 6th period lanthanides and 7th period actinides are also added. So in 6th period total 32 elements because 4f orbital is entering the 4f orbital. F orbital can occupy how many electrons? 14 elements. Understand? So 18 plus 14, 32 elements. So 6th and 7th orbit, 6th and 7th period will be having 32 elements. Understood? Now let us discuss about some of the properties of these all groups. 18 groups are there. Let us discuss some of the properties which is related to the chemical and physical properties of the elements, how they vary in a period and how they vary in groups. We will discuss now. Okay now? At this table, here you can see a staircase like structure with this pink color you see. Boron, silicon, arsenic, tellurium, astatine. See here you can see. Okay. The elements which is very near to this demarcation means this structure just like a ladder structure. Okay. Means elements like boron, silicon, arsenic, germanium is also. Okay now. Tellurium. These elements are metalloids, means they are having the properties of both metals and non-metals. And when we observe these other elements which is coming to the left of these metalloids, they all are metals. These all elements are metals. But one thing, metallic properties decreases from left to right. So when we are taking lithium and beryllium, lithium will be having more power than, more reactive than beryllium. Or otherwise if we talk of potassium and manganese, potassium is more reactive than manganese. Even though the metallic properties are decreasing, these all are metals. Okay, left of this demarcation means boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, etc. They are metalloids, and which all elements are coming into the left of that one. all are metals. So you can know that metals are more in number. Okay, and which is coming to the right of it, they are non-metals. So very less. Non-metals are very less. And also when we discuss, when we are talking from top to bottom, we are talking like this top to bottom in a period. Its metallic character is increasing. Okay. When we are talking about period, from left to right, metallic character is decreasing. But when we are talking about
Groups.
top to bottom, so you see here carbon, silicon. This all are what is silicon is a metalloid, but you can see that in the same period lead, that is a metal. So in when it is coming from top to bottom in a group, the metallic character is increasing. And when it is going from left to right in a period, the metallic character is decreasing. Understand? And demarcation, left side all are metals. Demarcation, left side all are metals. Demarcation, right side non-metal, means boron, silicon, arsenic, germanium, tellurium, this one, all this side it is metals, that side it is non-metals. I hope you got it. So, again, let us talk about atomic size of these elements. How they are arranged. How are the atomic size of the elements when it is going from top to bottom, and also when it is going from left to right in a period. First we will discuss about top to bottom. Okay, what do you guess, Akshara? What do you guess? What is the atomic size of the element when it is going from top to bottom in a group?
The atomic size increases when going from top to bottom in a group.
What is the reason why the atomic size is increasing?
Because the number of shells increases.
Okay, in every period, one new shell is adding up. One new shell is adding up. Because of when hydrogen, only one is there, first shell. When it is coming to lithium, second shell. Then sodium, third shell also adding up. So because of the adding up of new shells, new rooms are adding. When new rooms are adding, size will increase, radius will increase. So atomic size and atomic radius increases from top to bottom in a group. Okay, then what about atomic size and atomic radius when going from left to right in a period? Satya, can you say? Left to right in a period, what will happen?
The atomic radius will decrease because
Atomic radius will decrease, so atomic size also will decrease. What's the reason?
number of protons is more than the outer shell electrons. So the proton electrons the outermost shell towards itself. So the atomic radius will decrease. So size will
Very good child. So see here, all the electrons when we are going from left to right in a period, new shells are not adding up. Electrons are accommodating in the same shell. But you should remember one thing, that the nuclear charge is increasing. Nuclear charge means proton number. Number of proton is increasing. Proton is existing in the nucleus. Okay, proton is in the nucleus. So these electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So when here the positive charge is increasing, there is possibility for attracting this shell towards its side. So when the shell is getting attracted towards its side, its size automatically will decrease. So you may ask me a question, why ma'am? Protons are increasing, you are saying that protons are increasing, electrons are also increasing now. Of course electrons are increasing, but there is no effect because that increased electrons are existing in the same shell only when it is going right. See, lithium, there will be two shells. K shell and L shell. Next, lithium after beryllium. Beryllium also will be having two shells. Next, what is boron? Boron also will be having two shells. Number of shells are same. Because of the number of shells same, there is less possibility for increasing its size. Increasing its size. But one thing, there are some points to be discussed when we are talking about a period. Penetrating power ones. We have to discuss that one also, because these all are having effect on the properties. That also we will discuss now. So in that, general properties we taught. So first of all, let us talk about ionization energy. Actually, what is ionization energy? Okay, before talking about ionization energy, I want to tell a few points about ions also. Okay, ions. Do you know about ions? What's a negative ion? What is a positive ion? Do you know about it? Huh? Sodium ion. What is sodium ion? What is sodium ion? What is sodium ion? Na plus is called sodium. Cl minus is called chloride ion. What's the difference between these two ions?
Means sodium ion when electron will be reduced.
In order to form compounds, electrons will be added or will be left out. Okay now. So if electron is getting added to an atom, added to a neutral gaseous atom, it will become negative ion. And if electron is losing, it will get a positive charge. For example, sodium, we know that. Let me write the general configuration. 281. 281. This is 2881. Chlorine. Okay, chlorine having the electronic configuration, sodium having the electronic configuration 281, and chlorine having its electronic configuration 2881. So see here, in order to get the octet completed, sodium, when it get a chance, it will try to have one being removed. It is ready to give this one electron to any other atom. Understand? So when one electron is getting removed, it will be getting, sorry, here I wrote wrong now, 7. 287. So one electron it is getting lost. When it is lost one electron, it will get its electronic configuration. It will become stable. Means octet will be completed. Its octet will be completed. So this one electron is getting lost. When one electron is getting lost means it will become 28. 281 changes to 28. But number of protons, sodium number of protons how much? 11 only. Sodium number of protons 11. Now when one electron is giving to another atom, its proton number does not change. Again the proton is 11 only. Right? Electrons are changing like this. 11 proton, electron 11. After changing, proton 11, electron 10. Okay. So what is more now? Proton. After giving out one electron, it is having one proton more. So positive charge it gets like that. So positive ion. So when it is having positive ion, positive charge, you can just suppose number of protons more than the number of electrons. What it will do the outermost shell? It will attract towards its side. Nucleus will attract it towards its side. So that means when it is coming to a sodium ion, comparing to neutral atom of sodium, its size will decrease. Its size will decrease. So positive ions are always having less size compared to neutral atom. And what about this one? You can just mark it. Chlorine. Its electronic configuration is 287. Means 17 electrons are having. No. So in order to complete octet combustion, how many electrons it need? 1 electron. So sodium is ready to give that electron to this one. So it will be getting 288 configuration. 287 configuration will change us to 288 configuration. So chlorine will change like this. Chlorine starting proton 17, electron 70. But when it is getting 1 electron, proton will become 17 only. Proton never changes. But electron will become 88. So what is more now? Electron number is more. Electrons are more. Since the number of electrons are more, attraction increases or decreases? Decrease. So chloride is having more size compared to chlorine. So chlorine, chloride ion. Which is having more size?
Chlorine.
This one is having big. This is big. So negative ions are always bigger than its neutral atom. Negative ions are always bigger than its neutral atom. And positive ions, sodium plus and sodium neutral atom, which is having its bigger size?
Sodium. Neutral atom.
Neutral atom is big. So positive ions are always smaller. Always smaller than its neutral atom. And negative ions are always bigger. Negative means electron number increased. When the number of electron increased, what will happen? Attraction reduces. When the attraction is getting reduced, there is its size will increase. Right. So I want to talk about now we learned that electrons are removing, electrons are entering. Okay, now we have seen two possibilities. Na ions, neutral atom, that is ready to give out the electron. And chlorine, it is ready to accept the electron. So what will happen when an electron is left out? Or what will happen when an electron is added to a neutral atom? That we want to discuss. Can anyone say what will happen when an electron is removed from a neutral atom? Akshara.
Energy will be released. Sorry,
Energy.
energy. We should provide energy.
Yes, very good. We should provide energy. We should provide energy to remove an electron
From a neutral atom.
from the outermost shell of the neutral gaseous atom. Can you say what is that energy known as?
Ionization energy.
That energy is known as
Ionization.
ionization energy. So we talked about sodium. Isn't sodium changes to Na plus 1 electron. So 1 electron is removed. So when 1 electron is removed, actually it is happened by providing some energy. So the energy provided to remove that electron is known as ionization energy. Understand? And if you want to remove 2 electrons, it is known as second ionization energy. Ionization energy, and also we can say ionization potential also. Okay, now ionization potential or ionization energy. Okay, how this ionization energy? Okay, already we told the definition. What is ionization energy?
The energy.
Energy required to remove an electron
from neutral gaseous
from the outermost shell of the neutral gaseous atom is known as ionization energy. Okay, now tell me, what is the trend of the ionization energy from top to bottom in a group? Top to bottom. What is the ionization energy? Okay, whether the ionization energy is increasing or decreasing in the group. Roger, can you say? What about the ionization energy? What is the ionization energy in group?
The ionization energy in a group will decrease.
Okay, ionization energy will decrease. Do you know why it is decreasing?
Because having the more number of cells, it required only some amount of energy to remove the electron from the outermost shell.
Okay, let me tell you that it clearly. Just Akshara, come here. Stand there. And Satya, come. Just move. Akshara, little bit move. Move little bit there. Okay, think that I am the nucleus. I am the nucleus. Okay, the protons are in me. And Akshara is the outermost electron, outermost shell. And Sri Satya is the inner shell. So for me, for the nucleus, this Satya, this shell, this inner shell is an obstacle to attract that outer shell. Understand? She is acting as a shield here. This inner shell is acting as a shield. Means that orbit is obstructing the attraction to the outermost shell. So here, because this attraction, what is this obstacle? Attraction between the nucleus and the outermost shell decreases. So it is very easy to remove an electron from the outermost shell. So here Satya is acting as a screen. Understand? She is the innermost shell. I am the nucleus. She is the inner shell, and she is the outer shell. So she is the screen, acting as a screen. Okay. So because of the screening effect, of inner shells, of what? Inner shells, ionization energy decreases from top to bottom in a group. Top to bottom in a group, ionization energy decreases. Why it is decreasing? It is because of the screening effect. That means inner shells are acting as a shield for the outermost shell. So it is easy to remove electrons from the outermost shell. Hope you got it. So let us discuss about when moving from left to right in a period. Moving from left to right in a period. So we already learned that number of shells are not increasing. Number of shells are not increasing. So automatically you may be thinking that from left to right, ionization energy, what should happen? It should increase. It should increase. Okay, because it is holding the, when the nuclear charge is increasing from left to right, nuclear charge is increasing. Nuclear charge means the number of protons are increasing. Because of the increasing of nuclear charge, it will attract the outermost shell more and more towards its center. So, it is easy to remove an electron from lithium compared to remove an electron from neon. Right or not? Because lithium is having only 2 shells. In this period only all these elements will be having 2 shells, so K shell and L shell. K is the inner shell, L is the outer shell. So when we are talking about that one, lithium 2 shells. Neon is also having 2 shells. But lithium having 3 nuclear charge, means 3 protons. But neon is having 8 neutrons. Sorry, 10 neutrons. Neon is having 10 neutrons. So from the center, 10 neutrons are 10 protons are attracting the L shell towards it. Here 3 protons are attracting the second shell towards it. So which is more powerful? Neon. So where it is difficult to remove the electron? Neon. It is difficult to remove the electron from the neon compared to lithium. So in general we can say that from left to right in a period ionization energy is increasing. Okay, ionization energy is increasing. Why? Because its nuclear charge is increasing. Nuclear charge is increasing. So the attraction power increases. Because of the increase of attraction between the nucleus and the outermost shell, ionization energy increases. Ionization energy means energy required to remove the electron right from the outermost shell. But there are some variations coming in some places. For example, nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen. When we talk about nitrogen and oxygen, let us write the periodic configuration, electronic configuration of nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen, oxygen. Nitrogen, how many electrons are there? Nitrogen, how many electrons are there? Its atomic number is 7. Atomic number is 7. And oxygen atomic number is 8. So, its electronic configuration, nitrogen 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Right. And oxygen 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. See here, nitrogen is having 2p3, oxygen is having 2p4. Actually, according to our discussion, nitrogen should be having less ionization energy compared to oxygen. According to the first point, what energy having compared to oxygen. But it is not so. Can you say why is it so? Can anyone say?
Because halfly filled and fully filled orbitals are highly stable.
Okay, very good. Half-filled orbitals and fully filled orbitals, so completely filled orbitals are highly stable. That means here you can observe 2p. P maximum capacity is 6. P maximum 6 can. So out of 6, 3 is occupied already. Means half filled. But oxygen is not so. Not half filled. So half filled orbitals are completely filled orbitals are highly stable or stable configuration we say. When an element is having the stable configuration, stable electronic configuration, they will be having more ionization energy. To remove an electron from its outermost shell, more energy should be provided when it is having a stable configuration. So we know that nitrogen will be having more ionization energy compared to oxygen. Understand? So stable configuration is also a matter that affect the ionization energy. Is there anything more? Is there anything more? Yes, penetrating power. Okay, now what is that? When we talk about beryllium and boron, both are coming in the second period. beryllium and boron. We know that beryllium atomic number is 4 and boron atomic number is 5. So when we talk about its electronic configuration, 1s2 beryllium, 1s2, 2s2, and boron 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Means here it is having s orbital, but coming to boron, that's also having p orbital. That means penetrating power depends upon s, p, v, and n. Means s is more compared to p, compared to d, compared to n. So if an atom is having p orbital, it will be having less energy to be provided compared to that element which is having only s orbital. So that will be coming here, you see, beryllium only s is there, but boron it is having p also. Okay, since it is having p orbital, its penetrating power will be less. So it is easy to remove an electron from boron compared to beryllium. It is easy to remove an electron from boron compared to beryllium. Understand? So which ionization energy will be more? Beryllium will be more. So even though in general when we are talking about ionization energy in a period from left to right, it is increasing. In some places, because of the penetrating power of the orbitals and stable configuration, some cases its ionization energy will vary. Okay, that we have discussed. Okay, now coming to ionization energy can be measured in which unit? Can you say anyone? Kilojoule per mole or electron volt per atom. Okay, atomic radius we can measure it? Picometer. What is 1 picometer? 10 power minus 12 meters. Okay, now we are coming to electron affinity. Okay, what is electron affinity? We talked about atomic radii, next ionization energy, next electron affinity. What is electron affinity? Satya, can you say? Electron affinity.
Energy liberated when an electron is added to neutral gaseous atom.
So when electron is adding up, energy will be liberated. When electron is removed, energy should be provided, right? So just opposite to ionization energy. In the neutral gaseous atom, if an electron is getting added, just like we talked about chlorine, when electron is getting added, what happens? Energy will be released. Energy will be released. What is the energy being released? When one electron is added to the neutral gaseous atom, can you say, Srivani? One electron is added to the neutral gaseous atom. What is the energy released? Can you say?
M plus E.
No, that is name. What is its name?
First
Electron affinity. Okay. So electron affinity is nothing but that is the energy released when electron is getting added to an atom. And that also saying like ionization energy. In a period or in a group, we are talking about a group, electron affinity, what will happen? Electron affinity decreases from top to bottom. Okay, decreases from top to bottom. And in a period, increases from left to right in a period. So if you remember ionization energy, same we can write for electron affinity. It's a very important question for public examination. How does electron affinity, electron negativity, ionization energy, atomic radii and all vary in period, and then the 4 mark question actually it is. So electron affinity, how does it vary in a group? From top to bottom it is decreasing and left to right it is increasing. Okay, my dear ones, you know that when it is going from left to right, what about its metallic nature? We already told us decreases. At the same time, what about its tendency for attracting the electron?
Increases.
Attracting the electron increases. Giving out the electron decreases. So when we are talking about the first group and the halogens, okay, actually this 18th group, inert gas, they don't want any electron, they don't want to give any electron. So let us talk about this halogens and sodium, means alkali metals. Okay, now alkali metals, and let us talk about the halogens, which is having the ability to give out the electron. Say this one, alkali metals, which is having the ability to receive the electron. Halogens. Halogens will receive the electron. Alkali metals will give the electron. They are ready to give the electron. Halogens are ready to take, accept the electron. Understand? So, when we are going from left to right in a period, its ability to take the electron increases. The ability to receive the electron is not by Akshara. It's known as tell loudly. Electronegativity. What is electronegativity?
The tendency to accept the electron.
The ability of an atom to accept the electron. What is the formula to find out the electronegativity? Can you say? Raja.
Ionization energy plus electron affinity by 2.
Electronegativity is equal to
Ionization energy plus electron affinity by 2.
very good. It's an average of electronegativity. Sit down. Electronegativity is equal to ionization energy plus electron affinity by 2. So electronegativity is nothing but it's a capacity to attract the electron. So what about it varies in a period and in a group? In group, what is its tendency? Electronegativity. Electronegativity means attracting the electron. Decreases. Okay, in period increases. Attracting the electron from left to right increases. Okay, when it is reaching to the rightmost side, its ability to receive the electron is increasing at most. Understand? Electronegativity. And we also have to discuss about valency, not discussed I think. What is valency? For anyone going to be discussed in this lesson, electronegativity, metallic characters, all we discussed electron affinity, right? I think that valence is not discussed, I think. Okay, you know that what is valency? Srivani, can you say what is valency?
Combining power of an element with the oxygen or hydrogen or indirectly like compounds.
Okay, see here, as Srivani says, it's the ability to combine with oxygen or with hydrogen or indirectly with any elements through hydrogen and oxygen. Suppose if we say calcium oxide means calcium is combining with how many oxygen? One oxygen. How many oxygen? One oxygen. So if it is how many oxygen it is combining, it's a double. So what is the valency of calcium? 2 is the valency of calcium. Because calcium is combining with only one oxygen. Understand? Since it is combining with one oxygen, always it's a double number. So we take the valency of calcium is 2. Okay, same thing. Na2. Na2. 2 sodium atoms are combined with 1 oxygen. So oxygen double 2. 2 is shared by 2 sodium atoms. So what is the valency of sodium? 1. Did you understand? So like that with the hydrogen, HCl. Hydrogen. How many hydrogen chlorine is added to? 1. So what is its valence? 1. Means hydrogen means number of hydrogen atoms, how many number of hydrogen atoms is joined. But coming to oxygen atom, double of the oxygen atoms. That is taken as its valence. But when we are going to the periodic table, we can find out the valency in this manner also. The elements which are in the first group, they will be having valency 1. Second group 2. Third group 3. Fourth group 4. Fifth group 5. 8 minus 5. So now when we are coming to fifth group, okay, 8 minus 5. 3. So its valency will be 3. Means 8 is an octet, no? Minus is a group, no? Next, if you are talking about oxygen, 8 minus 6, 2. And halogens, 8 minus 7, 1. Then inert gases, 8 minus 8, that is equal to 0. Right, like that we can find out the valency also. I hope that we have discussed most of the things from this lesson. I really thank you, all of you. Actually, being a teacher, no need of saying thanks, I think. Huh?
Yes,
Should I
ma'am.
say?
No.
No, but I am so happy that you people have studied the lesson thoroughly. Okay. I hope that all subjects you are preparing well, because we are not having much time hanging in our hands. We are having only 4 months more. 5th month you have to write the examination. So every subject, all subjects you are preparing well, I think. And all of your friends also, it should be an inspiration. They must also, they are studying, I should also come up. They should also have that feeling. So thank you, dear ones, for being in this class, sharing the knowledge, okay na? Inspiring others. Thank you. We will meet in another class. Okay.